the body changes and develop, whether it's stomach ulcer, things like that.
Yeah. There are natural bodybuilding shows now where you can compete without using steroids. You don't have to be so big. When I say high level, I'm talking like Olympia level, where you need to use steroids, because if you're not using steroids, you're just going to be at a disadvantage, you know. So imagine having 1,750 calories,
Yeah,
and just 5 pieces of cookies. Have bad backs, for example.
yeah,
And if I was training someone with a bad back, I would want them to do all exercises sitting, if possible. It's not easy to get that big. No one is going to be able to motivate you up, you know, like the way you'd be able to motivate yourself. So sometimes you just let people be and realize it themselves that, oh, I really need to get in shape. Because no matter what you do or say to people to motivate them, like, they can easily fall off.
yes, 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 yes. Unspoken answers to unspoken questions. Thank you guys again for the appreciation and sharing our platform. Today we have a guest that has been I've been watching and looking at his posts every time. He's a physical trainer. He's a dietitian, and yeah, for us to just get into it, can you introduce yourself? I always use that because I don't want to suppose. So, Desmond, introduce yourself.
Thank you very much. My name is Desmond Taiwo. As you said,
Taiwo, yeah.
I'm a gym person, and I'm really into fitness and looking good, building muscles, and all of that.
Yeah.
I'm more interested in the training side of things, even though you called me a dietitian, but like,
Yeah,
you know, I just really like to train, and I have a lot of love for it. So I don't have like an external motivation for it. It's just a love for it. That's all.
oh, when you say motivation, this is, well, it's third month now,
Yeah.
and I know a lot of people now, they were high in January.
Yeah.
That, oh, you know what? Definitely this year we're doing it. And this is March. Yeah. How do you help people with that kind of motivation?
I think firstly, if I was in the position to help someone like that, I'll try to get rid of that external motivation I was speaking of. So you see people that want to get fit for, oh, I've got a wedding coming up in 2 months. so
Yeah.
so I want to be fit for the wedding. It's almost summertime. Let's get fit for summer and stuff like that. You need to get rid of that mentality to start with, because it's not going to sustain you for a long period of time. Let's say you've got a wedding coming up in 2 months, for example. In 2 months, you might not. I mean, you might see a lot of improvement, but usually with getting fit, losing weight, building muscle, it could take you, depending on the kind of genetics you've got and all of that, it could take you 6 months, 1 year to see some really decent improvement. So I would say firstly, try to get rid of that mentality and make them understand that this could take long. So just fall in love with the process, enjoy the training.
So even after the wedding, you still have to continue.
Yes, you should have that in mind. That's the mentality you should go in with. So yeah, but if you're going in with the kind of mentality I spoke about, like you've got a wedding or you've got something to get ready for, you might not even be able to sustain that motivation up to the point of the event you're going for, whatever it is you're working out for. So just do it because you love it. Do it because you think it's going to help you in the long run. Because getting fit has a lot of benefits, you know.
But some people don't have the hunger for gym, for all those exercise.
See, first of all, I would like to say that for some people, you need to probably let them come in the gym, fail, leave the gym for many months and all that. Sometimes you need to make that decision on your own. Most times you need to make the decision on your own. Like, no one is going to be able to motivate you up, you know, like the way you'd be able to motivate yourself. So sometimes you just let people be and realize it themselves that, oh, I really need to get in shape. Because no matter what you do or say to people to motivate them, like, they can easily fall off if they're not disciplined enough or if they've not got the right mindset. So yeah, I would say that's one thing. But for some people, what I've noticed is sometimes people go in for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then they feel, oh damn, I'm feeling so much pain. And that's the reason some people just stop going. Like, from that first initial pain, they just stop going to the gym regularly and they fall off that way. So I would say for people like that, try to ease them in. I always tell people, ease yourself in. Go in the gym, do one set of this, one set of that, one set of maybe one other exercise, and leave the gym. You don't need to batter yourself on that first day, that first week. Build up the momentum. So over the period of like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you get to a point where you can now really start working out and training with a lot of intensity, and then it doesn't hurt as much. You don't feel as much pain as you would have felt if you had,
you know, like when you want to teach, like a student, and your student is not properly inclined, or maybe missing session, missing days, that okay, maybe it's 3 days in a week that you're gonna work out, and they come out every time, maybe once,
with excuses and all that. That's what I said initially. Like, you really cannot help anyone that doesn't want to help themselves. You can take a horse to the river.
But they have to pay the bills though.
So that motivation has to just come from them. The decision to want to do it has to come from them. You can always help them, you know, with some encouraging words, you know, with the way you plan the workout routine to suit their lifestyle, because that's another thing. Some people are just not able to fit it into their lifestyle. It's like, oh, I've got to go to work. I work morning to evening. I work Saturdays as well. So
because
how am I supposed to find the time? So I think that's another big component of it for people. They're just not able to fit it into their normal routine. So people think you have to go in the gym for 2 hours. So it's like, how do I take out 2 hours of my time if I work 7 to 7, for example? I have to wake up super early the next day. So it's all about changing the mindset. You can help people like that if they're ready, but just finding it difficult to fit it into their lifestyle. You know, make them understand you don't have to go into workout for 2 hours. You can get a good workout in 30 minutes and leave. And 30 minutes for a lot of people is not a lot of time. You're able to conceive the thought of, you know, fitting in 30 minutes. You know, it's just 30 minutes. Or like finding a gym that's close to your place of work. So immediately you're leaving your place of work, you're going in the gym, doing 30 minutes and going home. So it's all about structure. For some people, you just need to like structure, find a good structure for them, so it's easy for them to fit into their lifestyle, normal lifestyle, and from there it becomes easy for them.
You talked about having the right kind of was it it's not muscles, it's like right food and all the things to to balance maybe muscle and things like that. I see some posts where some trainers say, oh, okay, this person doesn't need this certain kind of food. This person doesn't need to they just need to burn fat, not muscle. So how do you, because yeah, I know exercise is like, okay, it should be like cardio, make you burn burn calories, burn fat and things like that. So how do you then make that person from being fat to muscle?
Easy. Well, not easy, but straightforward. So if you're someone, for example, who is trying to burn fat and build muscle at the same time, firstly, to burn fat, all you need to do is be in a calorie deficit, meaning you eat less than you actually need to perform your daily activities. So that means it's going to vary for different people, because different people have different levels of daily activities. For some people, their daily activities, they need to walk up the stairs 8 floors every day.
Yeah.
They need to walk 15 minutes to their bus stops. Some people don't need to do any of that, meaning they have a very low level of physical activity during the day. So if someone like that is fat, you know, trying to lose fat, you need to try to raise your level of activity artificially, and that's where the gym comes in actually, because the gym is just a form of physical activity. So add more physical activity and reduce the amount of calories you're putting into your body. So, and I would say the most effective way, if fat loss is your main goal, is actually about the food mostly. You must hear people talking about, you know, how important nutrition is, and it's really big, especially if you're trying to burn fat. That's because, say for example, I was just recently, I saw on Twitter about this M&S cookies that has about 1,750 calories, for example.
Wow.
And I was thinking, wow, just 5 pieces of cookies, like in a bag, 5 pieces. It's like getting a biscuit, 5 pieces in there, and you're eating 1,755. And that's what some people eat, for example, not count without even counting it. You know, that's like snacks for some people. So, and that's a large number of calories if you think about it. Like most people don't need more than say 2,000, 2,500 calories. So if with just one small snack you're eating close to your daily need for calories, for example, that's a big deal. And you know, for a lot of people, they would still eat 3 times a day, separate from the snacks they're having, for example. So that means with your calories, you're shooting 3,000, 3,500 probably. That's a lot of food. And then maybe the physical activities is also not a lot. As I said, some people don't have to walk to the bus stop. Some people don't have to, you know, some people also don't go to the gym and all that. So,
but like some of us, we don't get that kind of. We see the information, but I just want to eat. I just want to eat. You know, because all this thing. Well, I know. For me, I try as much as possible to do what I can do. But for others, because it's not every time you're gonna like, oh, it's also amount of calories. Oh, this is protein. This one is this.
Well, you don't necessarily have to do that, but if you do it, it makes it easier for you. And why I said that is, it's so easy to eat some things and not realize how much you're actually eating because you think it's small. But at the end of the day, it's about the nutritious content of it. It's about the calorie content. So if you're eating a bunch of stuff, you know, not checking and all that, I don't check myself. Sometimes I do. but you may not realize how much calories you're actually eating if you're not checking. Yeah, the easy way is maybe check for a period of time, have the kinds of food that you eat regularly, and then you are kind of subconsciously aware of the number of calories in those
Yeah.
foods, and then you don't have to check anymore as long as you just keep eating about the same thing every day. But my point is, some people, it's just so easy to not realize that you're actually eating so much, because that surprised me a lot. If I did not see that on Twitter, for example, I wouldn't have thought 5 pieces of cookies
Yeah.
would be like that massive. Like that's about two full course meals there in those 5 pieces of cookies. You know,
Yeah.
if you're checking the calorie content, because most, you know, 500 calories, 600 calories, you've had a good meal, you know. So imagine having 1,750 calories
Yeah.
in just 5 pieces of cookies. That's why I think it's important sometimes to, you know, get used to the habit of, you know, just checking it out once in a while, seeing what you're eating.
Let's go to exercise now.
Yeah.
When it comes to dumbbell, when it comes to lifting weights, I see people, and when I look at them, I'm like, nah, I don't want to be like that.
Why? Too big or too small? Or...
Yeah, you know, is when you see an individual, like a man like that inch and stouty,
Yeah.
and you like, nah, this one is not fascinating. Yeah?
Yeah.
Why is it that some people make sure that, okay, it has to be inch, you know, that does the work. Yeah, you can always look at me.
I think firstly, everybody like wants different things. Some people want to be massive and be massive in an intimidating way.
Yeah.
But it's also important to point out that it's not easy to get that big. You know,
Yeah.
it's not easy. We find someone who has a normal athletic body, you know, decent amount of muscle, you know, like, not too bad. You know, you can take off his shirt on the beach and all that.
Yeah.
Trust me, that person has probably been working out 2 years, 3 years regularly. So it's not the same week you pick up a dumbbell that you're going to get that big.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Secondly, structure is another thing. And that's mostly genetic. You see some people with a lot of muscle, but it looks nice on them. They just look better than some other people.
If it's nice
with the same amount of muscle.
If it's nice, it's good. Okay, going back to that, I see even when I go to the gym, yeah, when ladies do some exercise,
Yeah.
you know, like for me as a grown man, it's like you've done, if you're my girlfriend or whatever, you've done everything. I don't need to do anything again because you have already intimidated by that kind of exercise.
Yeah.
And that one, I mean, like proper. You see them like physical, do this, that one.
Like really strong.
Yeah. Why? Because now, yeah, it seems ladies are going beyond men. I'm telling you.
Again, it's just, you know, personal preference. Some people don't really care, and you know, some ladies like to be strong, some ladies like to be muscular. There's bodybuilding shows for ladies as well, so it's like, you know, it's just personal preference. That's the way I see it.
No, now it is everywhere. I know that one.
And
but
working out has become more mainstream. Say like 10, 15 years ago,
yeah,
it wasn't a big thing to see ladies working out.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
But recently, in the past maybe 5 years, it's become a big thing. So I think it's just one of the ways in which, it's just one of the directions in which the world is moving at the moment.
Well, it's so
It's not necessarily a bad thing. I like ladies with muscles, so
is it? All right. Let's go to the gym now. As if you, okay, as a personal trainer,
yeah.
and you haven't met this person before, and okay, this person is going to be helpful for you and things like that, and you meet them, maybe first time, what are the things that basically that you're going to give them?
You mean like information about how they should go about working out?
About their health and exercise. Because now you have enrolled them.
Yeah.
So now you are their personal trainer. And you haven't, maybe you haven't done research on them before. You haven't seen their picture.
So you're just meeting them for the first time. Okay, I'm not much of a personal trainer right now, because I don't have a lot of time actually to do it. But if I was meeting someone for the first time and I wanted to, train them, I would be asking what their fitness goals are to start with. What do you want to do? Are you just trying to build muscle, or do you just want to be lean? Like, what exactly do you want out of this? Then you want to be asking about, some personal questions, but important questions like medical situation, for example. Some people have bad backs, for example.
Yeah.
And if I was training someone with a bad back, I would want them to do all exercises sitting, if possible. All exercises, if possible, sitting. Just because they've got a bad back. You basically want to know a bit of their medical history in terms of, like, how strong they are. Some people have some medical conditions where the doctors might not prescribe them to, work out to a certain intensity and all that. So you definitely want to know that as well. And then once I get all of those information, you want to start them on, as I said, ease them in, doing very light exercises. After the first workout, for example, they shouldn't be feeling so much pain like a lot of people complain of. So you want to ease them in for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. They get a decent level of conditioning before you start, pushing them in terms of intensity and all that.
Well, unspoken answers, unspoken question. Guys, still share and subscribe. Yes, Desmond. I've been watching your post, and
on Instagram.
Yeah, you've been doing a lot of muscles.
Yeah.
All right, this one is more like just like a question anyway. Steroids and protein. Do you advise steroids?
Do I advise steroids?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I don't advise steroids. I think if you're not competing at a very high level, when I say high level, I'm talking like Olympia level, where you need to use steroids, because if you're not using steroids, you're just going to be at a disadvantage. If you're not on that very high level of competition, bodybuilding.
But guys use steroids to just.
But yeah,
when I was going back, that I don't want to be like this person.
Yeah, I see.
Because they take proper, and come on, man.
Well, I see that that's another thing that's become mainstream. Like, say 10 years ago, for example, maybe even 5 years ago, people who were visibly taking steroids would lie to you and say they weren't taking steroids.
Yeah.
But now everybody's open
Yeah, yeah,
about it.
everybody's like, okay, yeah.
So I personally don't see the point in taking steroids if you're not competing at that very high level. I don't see the point. But again, it just goes back to personal preference. Whatever it is you want to do with your body, you do it with your body. But like, and even if you still want to compete, but maybe not at that level I spoke about,
Yeah.
there are natural bodybuilding shows now where you can compete without using steroids. You don't have to be so big.
Enhancement thing.
No, you don't need any of that. So there is natural bodybuilding shows now. So yeah, I really don't see the point.
Like,
There's a few federations about in the UK that organize bodybuilding shows like that.
you see, that's why,
I'll be going for one myself this year.
is it?
I've just not I've not really planned it out yet, but yeah, I plan to compete naturally myself. So.
Okay, now, as a guy, or how does steroids hamper male reproduction and male enhancement or whatever?
I've not done a lot of digging into that actually. I know for sure it causes hair loss from what I've heard. Probably speeds it up. About hampering male reproduction, reproductive systems and all that. I'm not very sure of that. I'm not certain. I know over the years we've seen a number of bodybuilders that obviously take steroids that die of heart attack. So I think that's one obvious one that that's a common one. It affects your heart in some way. So.
And I've heard that sometimes it also hampers. It hampers male. It hampers male reproduction. Yeah. But of course, we're not doctors like that.
Yeah.
You talked about goals. There are things I've seen where people do like challenge, 21-day challenge, 50 days challenge. As a person that work with people, how is it advisable to be doing those challenge?
I'm not against the challenges. Doing 21 days of working out a certain way, of doing push-ups or whatever. I think it's probably good, more good than bad. I think it's a good way to motivate yourself because some people get hyped up and fired up when they turn it into a challenge. So like 30 days of doing 200 push-ups, it can get a lot of people fired up. So I think it's probably more good. I've done a bit of that myself. I had a period where I would do like 200 push-ups every single day for a month, things like that. And I'll check it off on my calendar. Okay, yeah, I've done 200 today, 250 today, So
yeah, but before you started,
yeah,
were you able to prepare, or you just like, oh, okay, I'm going to do this tomorrow, or I'm going to start tomorrow?
Yeah, I think it was more something like that. I just decided and went for it. So it wasn't, oh, I'm going to do it in 2 months' time. Let me start planning and preparing mentally.
I was talking to someone and we were talking about fasting, and now we'll talk about that. So that one, we said, oh, okay, fasting. Why is it that people just jump. Now there's fast now. I believe that is my own understanding. Prepare yourself before the fast comes, because if you get straight away into the fast, other things, because your body is not yet adapting.
If you speak of it that way, then it makes a lot of sense because, yeah, you say if you want to start a fast, for example, you can start by making little adjustments, so your body starts getting used to the fact that, oh, I'm not going to be having a lot of food at this time.
Yeah.
Start getting used to it. If you speak of it that way, then yeah, I prepared for those kind of challenges, but that's because I was already working out before starting those challenges.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah,
like, oh,
yeah.
this is my first time working out and I want to start it.
Yeah.
30 days push-up challenge every single day, 200, 300 push-ups. No. So I was already conditioned even before going into that. I was physically conditioned because I was already working out before that.
That's part of the thing that make people procrastinate.
Yeah.
Like, you haven't been doing it. Why is the problem that you now decide to do? Boom.
Yeah, that's the same reason why I said it's important to ease people in. So if someone wants to start working out, wants to start trading, you don't get them straight into it at 100%. You get them into it at 20%. The next week maybe at 40%. The week after maybe at 70%. And then somewhere in the fourth week, for example, then you start pushing them hard from the fourth week, fifth week, for example. So in that way, the body was slowly or has been slowly adjusting to what's going to be happening to it forever, hopefully.
Hopefully. Okay. Going out of the gym, like us, yeah, we go to the park, but do whatever. So how will you like get someone to physically fit at the park? What are the things that you can advise?
There's loads of body weight exercises you can do, like lots of them
In the park?
Yes.
I don't mean like with dumbbells.
Without weight.
There's no dumbbell at the park anyway.
Yeah. Without weight, there's many exercises you can do.
Like
the pull-ups, the chin-ups. With the pull-ups, chin-ups, you can do build your biceps. That's this one. You can build your back. You can build your shoulder. If you're doing muscle up, you can build your shoulder. You can also build your forearms. If you're doing dips, you can do dips at the park. You can build your chest. You can build your triceps. So there is like
triceps.
Yeah.
So how do you do the triceps?
So with the dips, you need to have like bars on either sides of you, and then you hold onto the bar and you push up and down.
Oh,
you push your body up and down. So yeah, especially with the upper body, it's a bit more complicated with the lower body. You would need to do, because squatting with your body weight and all that is probably not the most efficient way to build your legs up, especially if you eventually develop your upper body to a very decent level. And with those two exercises, the dips and the pull-ups, you can build an amazing upper body, but your legs might be lagging behind a little bit, because it's going to be more difficult to build your legs up to that point that you need it to be just with body weight. Okay. So
yeah, because majority of our fans and people on our platform, ordinary people, even going to the gym, yes, a lot. Okay, maybe 10%, people go to the gym?
I think it's a bit more than that, but
You
I'm not
might
sure.
think, because look, people go for work. They go for work. They do gym. I know a lot of people that, it's just basically going to the park, running or jogging, because, or the one that we always do, walk from, maybe from the station, yeah, but I'm home, from the station to the market. By the time you go, 30 minutes run, walk, 30 minutes back. People are all right with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking even for myself. For myself, I, when I go to the gym, I just do cardio, stretching, some, not even pumps, because pumps are not, I don't really like it. But cardio, running, cross trainer, all those things like that. Yeah, stretching. But going for all the, and that's why I'm like, okay, what are the things that we could do in the park that will enhance our physical structure and, even mental structure as well. Yeah, so, um rounding up, I know you've talked about park,
Yeah.
but if you were given a platform to say, okay, what is the best way to be in shape for 2025?
Go to the gym. Okay, I'm just joking, but yeah, you don't necessarily have to go to the gym. You don't necessarily have to, but you need to have some form of physical activity that produces stimulus. So stimulus means you have to force your body to grow. You need to give your body a reason to want to build muscle, if that's what you mean by staying fit and all that, because some people just want to get lean and not necessarily build a decent level of muscle. But if you're trying to build a decent level of muscle, I'd say give your body enough stimulus. That can be either by going to the gym, 30 minutes workouts is enough, or going to the park, doing pull-ups, doing push-ups. That's another big one. Push-ups, underrated exercise, by the way. Push-ups, doing dips. You can stay fit with that. You can build decent level of muscle with that without having to use weights.
Okay.
So yeah, you don't. Not everybody needs to use the weight.
At home exercise.
Yeah, and you can do all of that at home as well. You can do your push-ups at home. You can do pull-ups at home if you have the bar. If you have like a bar that you can make use of. You can do dips at home. You can always improvise. Maybe you got like a bench that you can lean your arms against. You can do some bench dips and all that. So there's always something to use, and there's like a few equipments now that you can make use of. So you can buy like dips bars, very cheap on Amazon. Buy them, easy to like fit into small tight spaces, so it's not like a big equipment you're buying.
Okay.
You buy it and use it for your dips. It's amazing. Like I used it myself some months ago. So yeah, amazing. You can buy some push-ups board like that, where you just put your hands in. It's got like a handle where you can fit your hands into and do push-ups with that. So there are lots of equipment like that, easy to carry around. that you can buy for your house if you don't want to go out to work out. So
Where can we get you on social media?
so I've got my YouTube, the Fitness Notebook. You can check me, the Fitness Notebook.
The fitness
Fitness Notebook.
Okay.
The same thing on TikTok. I think the Fitness Notebook or Desmond's Fitness Notebook. I can't remember right now.
All right.
Yeah,
We'll get that.
and my Instagram as well is Desmond's Fitness Notebook. Well, I've got two Instagrams, so but
Wow,
yeah, that's
right.
that's where I post a lot of fitness content.
Fitness. Okay.
And Desmond's Fitness Notebook, separate from my other Instagram that I just use for my people.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Thank you, Desmond Taiwo,
Thank you for having me.
for all this exercise tips. And yes, again, if you need proper fitness trainer, Desmond Taiwo will be available, and we'll put his link bio on Spoken as well. So thank you so much, guys,
Thank you.
and we'll see you next episode.
See you. Make sure you watch, like, share, subscribe, and all the nice things.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, thank you very much.